Literally nothing is as comfy as getting a blanket out of the dryer while it's snowing out. Sadly, I don't think it's enough snow to cancel school tomorrow, but I'll show you. It's like barely any snow, but the Christmas lights are so cute though. Can I have a moment for this outfit though? I feel like it's giving Caitlin. Like, I love her, she's my friend. But like the bow pants and the pink top, it's just giving her her vibes. It's so cute. Anyways, happy Spotify Wrapped Day. Mine's not a shock to anyone. Taylor Swift is still at #1. Every single song in my top songs is Gracie Abrams from the Secret of Us, and I think it's crazy that That's So True is my #1, but it's also not that crazy. And then 4 of them are Secret of Us, and then 5 is opposite, so that makes sense. But I just thought today we would do a cozy little winter reading list for you guys. So I have some books that I have at my house, and then I'll also do books that I don't have that you can read online or get. But we'll start with these ones first. Okay, we switched positions, but here are the books, oh my goodness gracious, that I'm gonna recommend you guys. Some of them are like actually winter themed, and then other ones I just feel like are cozy for cuddling up with while it's snowing out and you have hot chocolate. So a lot of them are just like cozy vibed books that you could read anytime, but I think they're especially perfect for winter. First one is Window Shopping by Tessa Bailey. I love her other books, and this one seems like a short, fun little read. It's winter vibes. It's set in Manhattan, where this girl Stella, she's like, she seems so fun. I haven't read this one yet because I just got it, but she's outside, she's window shopping like we all do in Manhattan, especially because it's expensive, and she's standing outside this shop, and this guy asks her what she thinks of the decorations, and she's like, it's unbearable, like it's bad, it's a mess of tinsel. And she didn't know that he owned the place, so now she's working for him because I guess she had a good idea, and now she's trying to be like, oh, he's not hot, while she's working for him. So I feel like that could be some fun little tension, some fun little winter vibes. It's short, it's cute, so that's the first recommendation I have. Then we have Caravel. I've been wanting to read this one forever. It seems so fun. It's like a mystery fantasy kind of thing, but it also is romance because, you know, I'm that kind of girly. And it's basically about 2 sisters who live on this island with their controlling father, and they've always wanted to see this once a year like magical performance. And the sisters are Scarlett and Tella, and I think I'm probably saying that wrong, but Tella finds a way to get them there, and then she's kidnapped by like the Caravel's carnival's like master organizer when they get there, and then Scarlett has to go try and find her sister, and she must navigate like the illusions of the magical world, and I feel like that's such a fun like plot twist book that'll keep you entertained, but also like it's a good entertainment. This sounds so good. Like, I'm convincing myself to read these now because, guys, I have so many books on my bookshelf that I just don't have time to read, and I feel like that's why I'm recommending books that like have winter vibes, but they're also books that I just really want to read, and I have the time to over winter break, or I will have the time over winter break, and I hope you do too, because this one sounds really interesting. So if you read any of these books, let me know because they sound good. The next one we have is Book Lovers by Emily Henry, because I am a book lover, and this looks so fun and so cute. It's basically where this like successful literary agent is a cutthroat saleswoman, so she's selling all these romance books, heroine books. Not that kind of heroine, like like the savior type heroine, okay? Anyways, her sister whisks her away to this like town in North Carolina, which sounds so fun. Like, can somebody do that for me? Anyways, I love North Carolina. But she bumps into this guy, and it would be a meet cute, except they don't like each other. They've met before, and it's never been cute. And so it's just like they're like forced proximity. They spend time together in this small town, and it's not your typical love story. That's what it says. Like, I'm quoting that. So it sounds really interesting and I love her, so I would read this for your little winter book. It also might give you some summer warm heart vibes in the cold winter times because it is set in August. Next we have Looking for Alaska, which I feel like is such a classic coming of age book, which I haven't read. Don't judge me, but I feel like this is the perfect time, you know, Alaska, cold, winter, snow, and it's a coming of age book. I'm a senior. I feel like it's the perfect time to read something like this. But it's basically where the main character, Miles, he lived in Florida, and he goes to this boarding school for the great perhaps, where he meets this girl, Alaska Young, who teaches him, who kind of like leads him on this fun little whirlwind of friendship and love and coming of age and loss and death and life and finding meaning and chaos. So it's a lot of feelings. It's a good under the covers, crying, laughing, all of the feelings kind of read. You know, you'll have your tea, you'll have your cookies if you need to stuff your face because there's so many emotions. Perfect time because you have Christmas cookies to read this book. This one's called Just Haven't Met You Yet, and it's like, these are books that like you can just read, you can breeze through. There's plot, but like, is there? You know what I mean? Like, it's very breezy and light and fun and romancy, you know. And this one's also like a travel beach, I don't know if it's a beach, it's like a travel one, so you know, you can escape from the snow if you don't like the snow or the cold to somewhere maybe a little warmer and fun with this book. But it follows Laura, who's like, she's a lifestyle and romance reporter. Kind of love that. And she bumps into this guy at the airport and she embarrasses herself in front of him. And then she gets back to her hotel and she realizes that she doesn't have her suitcase. Whose suitcase does she have, you might ask? Great question. The guy she bumped into. So she starts trying to find him because they're on this island, so he has to be somewhere. And they're actually on the island where her parents fell in love, funnily enough. So she's trying to find her mystery man who seems to be the perfect guy for her, but as she tries to find this man, it keeps proving more difficult, and it has her reimagine a lot of things about her life and maybe this man. Who knows? Very interesting, very intriguing, very light, very fun. Next, we have The Midnight Library, which I read a while ago, but this one's really good. Sorry for you romance folk, this doesn't have anything in it. No romance, but it makes you think. This was such a good book. Basically where this girl Nora finds herself stuck between life and death in this like magical midnight library, and every time she takes out a book, she is flung into this what if of what her life could have been. So if she would have gone professional in her sport, could her life been like? If she would have done this, would have done that. And every time she goes into what she thought her life could have been and what she thought would have been her perfect life, she sees that it's not all straightforward to happiness as she would have thought. And it's very thought-provoking. It kind of sent me into a little bit of a spiral, but it was very like, it was just like, don't take what you have for granted, because whatever you think your perfect life could be, it's not going to be perfect, because you're still going to have struggles, you're still going to have hardships, and it may be worse. Like, what you think is better may be worse, so just be lucky for what you have. And this was a very good book to teach me that. Needed a little Stanley break because I've been yapping so much. But next we have From Love with Lukov. I feel like this one's very good because it's ice skating, ice, winter, you know, winter vibes. But it's basically where Jasmine Santos, this figure skater, which I love skaters, like figure skaters, because that is such a crazy skill and it's so satisfying watching those videos. But basically she has been stuck in this rut for years with figure skating until she's paired up with this arrogant, really talented skater, Ivan Lukov, for a shot at the national championships. And when they train together, sparks fly, both on and off the ice. But it's a very heated rivalry too, so there's a lot of tension, and it's very, very fun. She's pretty thick. It's enemies to lovers, so you know, slow burn tension. But I love figure skaters. I love this one. It's so funny. This one's so funny and so good, so I would recommend it. This one I want to reread so bad because it's like, I'm pretty sure it's a Wattpad. Yep. Wattpad book. It's very sideline QB and me. I read this in 8th grade, and I gave it to my friend, and we were like ranting about it after we read it, but it's so good and it's so cute that I want to reread it because I'm now the same age as the main character. It's basically where 17-year-old Becca Hart is just like avoiding love, and she's convinced that like real relationships are messy and complicated, which is true, but basically her former best friend teases her for like not being in a relationship because she's like in high school, she's 17, and so she fakes it, and then the like swoon-worthy quarterback decides to be her fake boyfriend, and as she's like fake dating him, she fakes the relationship. She's like, oh, maybe love is real, maybe I do love him. And it's very short, very light, breezy. It was a Wattpad book, you know. I'm just sad like Wattpad books don't come with Wattpad comments because those are the best part, but it's just very cute. And like, if they turn another Wattpad book into a movie, can it be with this one? Because this is very much sideline QB and the me. Like, I wouldn't be mad if you cast Noah Beck for this one too. Cast the same characters. I loved the girl. Just make this movie. Like, I'd eat that up too. Like, this is so light and fun. Oh my gosh, guys, this is so like To All the Boys I've Loved Before and QB and Me Had a Baby. If you want to read something, read this book. If To All the Boys I Loved Before and QB and Me Had a Baby, it would be this book. That's enough said, I feel like. That's all I need to say. Then we have The Night Circus, which is another fantasy one, but it also has romance too. And it's basically where two young musicians, Celia and Marco, are bound by this magical competition where it's like an ever-changing circus that only opens at night, and they have like a very intense rivalry, and they must navigate the dangers and stakes of this contest while deeply falling in love with each other. It's so cute. It's so fun. It's, you know, fantasy vibes, so you can get away from all the cold and the family drama of winter and be at this magical night circus with two people who have a rivalry, and it's magical, and it only comes live at night. Very cute, like, fantasy romance. Fun little book. This one's called Daydream, and it gives me the vibes of, like, Hannah Wells and Garrett Graham, where this guy is failing his class, and he bumps into this girl, Haley, I don't know how to say it, but he bumps into her at this book club, and they befriend each other, and she's trying to kind of write this novel, but she doesn't have the romantic pursuits or experiences for the book she's trying to write, so they kind of have this deal where, like, I'm assuming they're gonna have this deal where, like, she's trying to get new experiences to beat her self-doubt, and he's promising to give them to her. Wink wink. Sorry guys, that was embarrassing. So basically, if she tutors him, he'll give her experiences, but they need to stick to their rule book. Don't fall in love. I don't care how cringy this sounds, guys, I eat it up, and so you do too. Don't lie. My hard copy book racks, and then I have a couple of online ones that I'll show you. I'm pretty sure my mom read this book and loved it, but it's called Beartown, and it's basically where this struggling town is obsessed with hockey and have like a local junior hockey team with their last hope of redemption, but there's like a terrible incident in the community that shakes everyone, and they must decide where their loyalties kind of lie between protecting the like young promising player and confronting the truth about what happened. And it says that the novel like explores deeper themes of loyalty, betrayal, and impacts on the community, which sounds really interesting to me. I feel like that might not be everyone's cup of tea, but I think that sounds really, really interesting, and kind of like the Midnight Library, where it makes you think a little bit more deeply about things. And I feel like that's a good thing to read in winter, because it's like, I don't know, when I think about heavy books like this, I just think about like eating, or yeah, I do think about eating. Like, when I think about reading heavy books like this, I think of, like, cuddling up, bundling up, and, like, eating some hearty food. That just, like, makes sense. Because, like, heavy situations, you want, like, a heavy food, you want a heavy blanket. I don't know. That makes sense to me, but this book honestly sounds really good. This one sounds so good, and I need to get this book ASAP, because I also love her other books. But it's called In a Holidays by Christina Lauren, and it's basically where the main character Malin, I think. She gets stuck in like this rut, and after her Christmas trip kind of goes awry, kind of not how she wants, she finds herself magically reliving the same holiday over and over again, which I love those kind of like Groundhog Day books where people just like relive. Guys, this is also like a good book list if you're getting sick, because I feel like I might be getting sick soon, but more time for reading. Anyways, each time she kind of gets a chance to reset her life and make choices that she thinks are better or different, especially regarding her feelings with Max and Andrew. This is a love triangle book. Two guys that she's always kind of been torn between. She explores the what ifs. This is kind of like the Midnight Library, but if it was holiday themed and had romance, which is kind of like really fun. So she begins to realize that the holiday might not be about kind of finding the perfect love, but embracing what truly makes her happy. So it's kind of a self-love book too, which sounds really, really interesting, and I do need to get this book and read it ASAP. And then the last one is also by Tessa Bailey. I love her, and it's called Wreck the Halls. And it's a fun, steamy, sorry guys, but that's what it says, steamy holiday romance that centers Holly, very on point name, and Logan, two characters that are thrown together for the Christmas season. And Holly's kind of like this overworked, stressed out woman, like the rest of us, and she's spending the holidays alone after a tough year. Honestly, she sounds like me. Anyways, Logan is kind of like this gruff, irresistible contractor. Okay, this sounds like Luke and Lorelai. This sounds like Luke and Lorelai if Lorelai didn't have Rory. I don't know. Maybe I'm just like imagining a gruff, like irresistible contractor as Luke, and I'm trying to make the other one Lorelai. I don't know. Anyways, he shows up to fix her new home, and sparks fly. Okay, this is so Luke and Lorelai. If she has like the snooty Lorelai attitude, I'm totally reading this. Anyways, it's kind of like what starts as this simple renovation quickly turns into a steamy romance. And it's full of like Christmas holiday cheer, romance, fun, flirtiness. And that's such like a good book to kind of wrap up the Christmas vibes, the Christmas holiday spirit. And it's also this enemies to lover kind of dynamic, so there's a lot of tension. And that's kind of all of the books I have for you guys. I hope you like these recommendations. I hope you read some of the books, and if you do, tell me about them, because I love hearing everybody's thoughts on books, and I love ranting about my own thoughts. So I hope you enjoyed this video.